Shalom Rastafari, Assalamu alaikum, peace to the kings and the queens of the earth. How's everybody doing this Wednesday? Big shout out to everybody, man, this week. I just wanted to kind of show my face. I'm usually doing these podcasts or these little voice things with just my logo, but I felt pretty good today. Shout out to my man Andrew and the whole crew. I was able to teach a little class today with a student on some black history, so I decided to just keep everything and show my face a little bit on this Wednesday little edition. So big shout out to everybody, man. Hope everyone's doing well on Wednesday. All the ups and downs that you're going through, just know that Allah will beat it all. So just keep on striving, keep on pushing. Test will come, but when you have faith, things will get better. You already know what the battle's all about. So today, I want to go into a book that I just finished. I literally just finished it about 30 minutes ago. I had like my last 4 pages before I got on here and talked about it. I knew I was going to talk about it. I always do my book reviews, and I'm always sitting there. And this is The Fear of Black Consciousness by Lewis Gordon, Lewis R. Gordon to be exact. Here it is right here. Pretty good book. Pretty good book. Now, excuse me, I just did a video. I just talked for like 20 minutes before this, and then I went to go edit it, and the whole sound was completely messed up. So I'm trying to make this better because I don't fold. I try to make things as perfect as possible when it comes to releasing this information and these videos and stuff like that. So please excuse me if I'm a little bit not rushing, but I just did like a 13-minute video for nothing. But I would probably try to repeat myself again and really do it the right way. Again, the literally fear of black consciousness. You know what I mean? Like literally, it is pretty self-explanatory. Now, Lewis Gordon, to me, this book, you're gonna learn some new vocabulary words. You're gonna learn some terminology. You're gonna get fed very well. I constantly felt like I was in an amazing class, like a professor who was just on it, and you better pay attention because this stuff can either save your life. It's stuff that arms you the correct way. And when someone puts this much effort into kind of spreading that situation, you have to honor that, right? So, I mean, this book basically breaks down again the fear of the black consciousness. For one, it talks about how black consciousness is political. Okay, so basically shifting into the more we're conscious, the more we are, on our situation, and we demand, specifics. It's basically political in that sense. He also breaks down our entire consciousness of things that have been released, for instance, music, but for also movies. He breaks down the Black Panther movie from Marvel to a T. He breaks down the symbolism. He breaks down the actions. He breaks down, even arts as far as what they tried to show. Opened me up. I mean, of course, I saw the movie and I loved it, but really, he got deep into what was being portrayed and what they were showing and how, they were really keeping it conscious, and he really busts that down. And then toward the end, he also breaks down the movie Get Out, and on that conscious level, what it really means, right? He also breaks down the chapter called The Blues. I remember that chapter very well, and it was basically from the jazz of blues all the way up to even the police blues. But ultimately, the blues and the downing of what we sing, what we go through, we talked about, and how that is even, you know, monetized, so to speak, in society, right? So, The Fear of Black Consciousness. Yes, I love this book. Again, all these books that I suggest you read, I'm going to read again, right? These are one of those books that I'm probably going to pick up toward the end of the year when I'm done with all the other things that I've gotten. Shout out to the people who give me these books. I love you. I appreciate you from the heart. And literally, these are one of those that you're going to read twice. You're going to read 3 times. He is so, I mean, talking about dissecting and breaking things down to a T. I mean, there is paragraphs upon paragraphs, and I'm reading this. I mean, and I got done reading one. I'm like, wow, that was deep. That was in depth with that thinking, and you need that. I think that in turn, especially when black people, when you get a little knowledge and you carry yourself a certain way, you feel like because you're around a bunch of other people who may not know as much as you, maybe you think that you got it. But we're talking about worldwide stuff, right? Right? You're talking about arming yourself correctly and being ready at all times. Or, my man Sugar Free OG, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, and that's so true. It's so true. Mentally, if you stay ready, you already know. Mentally, if you're on it, no one can tell you or manipulate you into some new false information. That's why it's important that you read or obtain real information from real sources, such as books and such as real authors who really care about what they're talking about. So arm yourself correctly in society when they try to, again, change the narrative on you or, try to eliminate and tone down your history just so they don't, feel uncomfortable. These are things that are happening in the states. Like, I mean, if you go to a place like Florida, if a person is uncomfortable talking about things, they take it out the book. Uncomfortable, really. Um, you're uncomfortable hearing about it again. I'm pretty uncomfortable living it, right? So, um, the fear of the black consciousness is exactly what it is. It's not just a title; it's literally something that has always been feared about from the beginning of time. This is why they did not want us to read. They gave us a false religion. And it's not just about reading. We weren't even allowed to operate in the streets. We couldn't even frolic, so to speak. We couldn't have fun. We couldn't gather around and dance. We couldn't. These are laws that were put in. These are not just like, these are laws. I remember at one point, if you're a black person, you're walking alone, you have to have a light to identify that you're black and you're walking alone. So all of these laws were because of a mental, stronghold and a religious basis that was added onto that to make a person, a black man and a black woman, to feel inferior while also justifying the actions that were taking being done to us, right? So all these things are literally manipulative. Harriet Tubman had a good quote. She said, "I would have freed more slaves if they only knew that they could be free. They didn't want to be free. I would have freed more if I would have known that they were okay with being slaves. She said she could have freed more if they knew better, right? And that's the fear of it. If you knew better, if you knew better back then, it would be a whole different history of the country. But the fear of it has always been. I'm talking about up until now. We are not there yet, even close. And if we were there on a militant level, this whole country would be different. There'd be different actions being taken. So at the end of the day, when I read these books, and people know I'm not just some like, oh man, it's just this is all it is, and it's just black, black, black. No, I'm reading this. I got love for everybody, but I'm reading this because I got love for my people first. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when you have that passion, no one can take that away from you. I expect that from everybody, right? I expect that even if you're European and you're German and your family's German from Germany, why wouldn't you put German culture and German things that if you're from? Why wouldn't you be passionate about that first, right? So with me, from the Black Nation, I'm putting my people first, and I'm learning more and more, and I love it, And with this book, especially again, arming yourself up, I feel like these are one of those things that you just need to have in your arsenal, right? You need to have it there um, to remind you specific things. Again, he breaks down so like chapter after chapter. It really was just that's the word I really keep on coming in my head, was just dissecting it, not just talking about it, but dissecting it piece by piece and then explaining that piece, the detail, the raw details. Those things are needed, obviously, and it comes to this situation. So again, shout out to Lewis Gordon. Shout out to um, people who gave me this book. I really appreciate you. I love you. And again, I'm so happy when I finish a book. I feel like I've been fed a great meal that will help me healthier in time. And mentally, that's what people have to understand. I'm not telling people just to fucking read. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't start off like this. I wasn't a big reader, and trust me, there's people who can probably finish this book in a couple of days. It took me about 2 months because I'm only reading about 3 or 4 pages a day. I read from about 5 different books, 4 pages a day, or a possible chapter because that just I know me, right? So I suggest that everybody gets into that point. If you want to become a reader, figure out what works for you. Maybe it's just sitting down and breaking down an hour. Maybe it's just like me, where you have a shake and you give your time to God, where Bible, Quran, and then it's 4 different books of consciousness levels. No cell phone around, just inside and getting fed that real knowledge. There's something about doing that to me that is priceless. You can't buy that type of knowledge. You can't just go to school and get that, no matter what. When you do feed it yourself, read it yourself, decipher it in your mind yourself, create that image in your mind yourself, you are stimulating your brain in order to actually learn more than you ever know. So again, no long talking. You know how I get down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to show my face too much. I really don't. You know what I mean? Going through a lot. Going through a lot. And shout out to everybody who's been in my corner. For real. Um, it's been rough. But if you see my face, I don't look like it's been rough. You understand? Inside, it's been rough. But what has been created is strength on a whole level. People who've had my back, I appreciate you. People who have shown me things that people are doing, I appreciate you too. Because ultimately, I'm not going to change or fold on the mission that I have is to be the best person I could possibly be. I'm going to make mistakes, obviously. But I believe in karma too, very well. And reading and getting away and continuing that focus, I don't even have time to address some of these things because there's a bigger goal in mind. And so when you have that again, that consciousness level, you're not worried about what anybody else is doing or thinking about you at all. You don't care. You care about the people in your circle. You care about your people, but you don't give a damn about people who, you want to troll all day. You clearly don't have a life. Like I'm saying, I feel sorry for people like you. I do. I'm not feel sorry for you. Like, and so is everybody else who's on a consciousness level at this point with anybody who continues to go that path with me because they know how militant I am. They know what I do. You know, there's people in the background who know exactly where I'm at just by this. And they know I've been here. I'm never going to go nowhere. I'm going to stop being who I am, which is spreading this awareness and shit like this out. Hey, if one person fucks with it, cool. 20 people, cool. Nobody. Somebody might. I'm not doing it for any of that. That's why it's the fear of the black consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like you become free mentally on not just the Babylonian system, from Babylonian fucks too. Understand that or overstand it. So salute to all y'all, man. I hope this video goes well. It's Wednesday. Hope y'all doing well, for real, man. I love all of y'all. I love all the support. I love every DM and every comment. I appreciate y'all from the heart. For real, that's why I want to show my face a little bit. Just to, I never do. I'm on the low all the time. So, yeah. Fear of Black Consciousness, Lewis Gordon, I'm sorry. Thank you very much from the heart. If you ever see this or watch this, I'll try to hashtag you. I don't know if you have Instagram or nothing, but thank you from the heart. And I can't wait to read it again, and I can't wait to get more detail with it. So, salute to everybody, man. Hope y'all have a good Wednesday, and I will see y'all soon. Much love.